Hi, I'm History Face. Now, yeah, back with more of the best of Europe, and this time, we're cooking up some unforgettable German treats, and that includes my favorite sausage anywhere, Danke schön. We're in Frankfurt and Nuremberg. Thanks for joining us. Germany is Europe's economic powerhouse, and you feel that in its great cities, like Frankfurt and Nuremberg. These are examples of how Germany has put the 20th century behind it and learned that the most effective way to be powerful is to be constructive. In Frankfurt, a city of contrasts, we see today's Germany and a vibrant mix of the new and the old, sprinkled with people-friendly zones, parks, and a stunning riverfront. Then in Nuremberg, we marvel at remnants of Germany's First Reich, with the Holy Roman Emperor's castle, and we learn of Hitler and the Third Reich with the architecture of a megalomaniac. Finally, we go underground for a peek at history seldom seen. Dominating the north of Europe is Germany, the size of Montana. We start where many transatlantic flights stop in Frankfurt and then travel a couple hours to Nuremberg. For an honest look at today's Germany, Frankfurt, city of contrasts, travelers need to venture beyond the ruined castles and cute cobbled towns. Frankfurt may be low on old world charm, but it offers a great look at no-nonsense modern Germany. Ever since the early Middle Ages, people have gathered here to trade. Today, cosmopolitan Frankfurt, nicknamed Bankfurt, is a trading hub of a united Europe, home to the European Central Bank and a center for global commerce. With its trading heritage came people from around the world. You'll notice the strikingly multicultural flavor of the city. A quarter of its 700,000 residents carry foreign passports. Frankfurt is often avoided by tourists who consider it just a business and transportation hub. But with its modern energy, Frankfurt is a unique and entertaining city well worth a look. The city, with its forest of skyscrapers perched on the banks of the main river, has been dubbed Germany's Manhattan. While it leads the country in high-rises, mostly bank headquarters, it has plenty of people-friendly parks. In fact, Frankfurters boast that a third of their city is green space. This park is part of a greenbelt that circles the old center and marks the site of Frankfurt's long-gone medieval fortifications. Today, that greenbelt weaves through Frankfurt's banking district, and history hides among these trees. The Marshall Plan, or that massive American aid program that helped Germany rebuild after World War II, was administered from this building. After World War II, Germany was in ruins, and its economy was in chaos. The United States gave it a complete currency transfer. It was like a blood transfusion. Literally printing up the new German Deutsche Marks, shipping them across the Atlantic, and from here in Frankfurt, injecting them directly into the German economy. That aid helped rebuild Germany, and it shaped Frankfurt as well. And as if attracted to all that money, banks naturally grew up right here. The architecture is striking. By law, no German worker can be kept out of natural light for more than 4 hours. That's why work environments are filled with windows. And unlike any skyscraper I've been in, Germans have office towers with windows that open. The main tower is open to the public and offers a breathtaking view. From its rooftop, feet high, you can survey the city, with new construction nearly obliterating the river upon which the city was founded. Its ever-expanding skyline exudes the vitality of the German economy. In contrast to the glassy skyscrapers, Frankfurt's train station is a classic. This late 19th century glass and iron construction somehow survived the bombs of World War II. The building's elegant facade dates from the Industrial Revolution and shows the pride of that age. Atlas carries the world, but only with some heavy-duty modern help. as figures representing steam power and electricity pitch in. Stepping inside, you feel the energy of Germany's busiest train station, where travelers catch trains every day. Kaiserstrasse, a grand 19th century boulevard, was built to connect the station and the city with style. Towering above and beyond its fine 100-year-old facades and reflecting the glaring whitening ever-changing city are the skyscrapers of Frankfurt's banking district. Frankfurt is full of contrasts. Just a few blocks away, under those same skyscrapers, is a red light district with about legal brothels. The pragmatic result of a policy of tax and regulation to take the crime out of a reality that just won't go away. Just a couple blocks away, there are fashionable streets lined with top-end boutiques. People-friendly pedestrian zones make it easy for both shoppers and diners. And on a hot day, people of all ages enjoy the refreshing fountain fronting Frankfurt's fine opera house. The many small German-speaking states finally united into modern Germany within a couple of years, Frankfurt, which helped spearhead the unification movement, built this fine opera house. It celebrated both high German culture and the newly created nation. While bombed in World War II, it was rebuilt in the original style. Mozart, whose operas were a hit here, and the esteemed Frankfurt writer Goethe flanked the entrance. Reminders that this is a house of both music and theater. Lunchtime beneath the skyscrapers can be entertaining as herds of bankers fill countless restaurants. This street is nicknamed Fressgasse, roughly the feeding street. As a contrast to the many trendy restaurant chains, Frankfurt's Kleinmarkthalle, that's Little Market Hall, is a delightful old-school alternative. The venerable farmers market was saved from developers by a local outcry and remains a neighborhood favorite. Explore and enjoy the samples. This is anti-aging. You have not need of it. I don't need it, no. Immer Jung chuckles. This stall is all about German sausages, and amid this carnivore's delight hides this, the city's classic wiener, the Frankfurter. My best market tip: find the most popular eatery, get local advice, and go for the town specialty. Just around the corner is Nuremberg, Frankfurt's old main square, lined with half-timbered buildings. Because of its historic importance, it's one of the few bits of the old town rebuilt after the war in its original medieval style. On a sunny day, people head for the main river. A centerpiece of the Riverside Park is this welcoming 19th century iron bridge. Enjoy the lively scene along the riverbanks in the shadow of Frankfurt's towering skyscrapers. Taking a riverside stroll, I'm struck by how Germans, while so productive in the workplace, are also expert at relaxation. From Frankfurt, trains zip travelers to all points. Zip travelers to all. Heading southeast, in a couple hours, we cross into the state of Bavaria and arrive in Nuremberg. Nuremberg was one of Germany's, in fact Europe's, leading cities years ago, with an imposing imperial castle. The city's formidable walls were state-of-the-art. They were redesigned from square towers, which worked just fine before the threat of cannon fire, to round ones. So enemy cannonballs were more likely to glance off without doing any damage. Back then, with water wheels powering mills along its now sleepy river, Nuremberg was an industrial marvel. The scenic remnants of its hard medieval past are now just an added dimension of a delightfully people-friendly historic center. Percent of downtown Nuremberg was destroyed and to rebuild, city fathers had a choice. Go entirely modern like Frankfurt did. That was the Manhattan plan. Or maintain the pre-war footprint and rebuild modern while preserving the traditional character. That was Nuremberg's choice. With one of Europe's largest pedestrian zones, the city of 500,000 has the charm of a smaller town. Playful street art, a series of bridges with scenic river views, and no traffic noise make it a joy to experience. Nuremberg is dominated by its mighty castle. In the Middle Ages, Holy Roman emperors, Europe's most powerful rulers, stayed here when in town. The Holy Roman Emperor ruled much of Europe for over 1,000 years. The institution was finally ended by Napoleon in. The emperor ruled a vast realm. It was bigger than today's Germany, but it was never centralized like France or England. Rather than inheriting his power, he was elected by the top bishops and nobles of the day. They were called prince-electors. The emperor had to keep on the move and didn't have a real capital city. While the emperor claimed supreme authority inherited direct from the emperors of ancient Rome, historians like to joke that the Holy Roman Empire was neither holy nor Roman nor an empire. The most famous of these medieval emperors was Charlemagne, shown here in a painting by Nuremberg artist Albrecht Dürer. Charlemagne, or Charles the Great, was crowned by the Pope in the year. When ruling from Nuremberg, the emperor would have received visiting delegations in the castle's lower hall. It's empty of furniture because the imperial court was mobile. Each city would scramble to suitably furnish its royal quarters before the emperor arrived. The castle's 900-year-old church is Romanesque in style and gives a peek at how structured even medieval society's top percent was. It has a triple-decker design. The lower nobility worshipped from the lower level. The upper nobility worshipped at this level,